What's going on YouTube? And we are here with our whiteboard and really wondering what I have painted on this, but I'm going to take you through how to design your training program. But first of all, I need to tell you the basics about training. So this is a volume scale and this is intensity scale. So the basic variable of hypertrophy, that is muscle gain, is how much volume you do. So that means that volume is reps into time. So how many reps and how many sets you do, that is your volume. And intensity, by intensity we mean here is weight, what weight you use. That is the strength is a variable of intensity. So when your volume is high, your intensity would be low and you're going to that hypertrophy range, and your load would be around 65 to 75% of your 1RM, and your rep ranges will stay between 6 to 12 depending on how much weight you use. And your volume would be high, you can use 2 to 3 sets. So the volume is a variable of hypertrophy, of muscle gain. So if you want to get bigger, so there's a misconception that in India there's a misconception that I see because I've been away from India for a while, and what I see is this: people think that to get bigger you need to lift heavy ass weight. So that's not the case. If you want to get big, you need to train between the rep range of 6 to 12, and the load should be 65 to 75% of your 1RM. And if you're going for that powerlifting meet, or you want to get strong as fuck and you don't care about how your particular muscle, how toned your muscle is, and if you're going for a powerlifting meet, or you want to train as a powerlifter, strength is your most common variable. The rep ranges for strength, you can train between 1 to 5 reps, probably set of 5 to 6 reps, and your load should be 80 to 95% and sometimes 100% when you want to look bigger. And intensity, that is weight you use, is the variable of strength. So this is the basic. Now I'm going to take you through how to create a basic training program. Not for this is not for a beginner, so people who are just starting out and do not know the correct form, and who are basically just starting out, this is not for them, this training program. But people who are training for 1 to 2 years and they know the basic movements and basic forms, this is how you should create a basic training program for you guys. So up next, I'm going to show you how to create a basic training program. Back guys, so this is how I design a program for myself, and when I work with clients, this is how I design the program. So first movement, when you start your exercises, when you design your program, you need to think about starting from a compound movement for strength. So first, your primary movement. So when you're doing, for example, you're doing chest, for example, so you don't start with cable flies. You don't start with that. You start with bench press or dumbbell press. So that is a compound movement. So that's your strength. It involves many muscle groups. So that should be a primary movement. And the set range I keep is 3 to 6 set range, and the reps would be 1 to 5. The intensity will be differing. So if you're doing 5 reps of probably 5 sets of 5, the intensity would be 75 to 80% of your 1RM, and the rest period during the sets would be 3 to 5 minutes. You should be thinking of recovering from each set. So I usually use as much time as I want, because these compound lifts are taxing on your nervous system, so you need rest before you start your another set. The second exercise or second movement I choose is a secondary movement to your primary movement, and that is also would be strength. So for example, we taking chest. So we have done heavy, say 5x5 of bench press, barbell bench press. Then you'll be taking incline dumbbell press. So that will be a secondary movement, and you can differ the rep ranges between 4 to 6 and set between 3 to 4, and the rest would be 3 or 2 to 4 minutes. So the point for this too is to develop strength. So we are not here to be whenever you first start your movement, you should just go for compound lifts, because compound lifts will, it burns, first of all it burns more calories, and second it involves multiple muscles, so it is very good for your overall physique, for your strength gains. And then after you do this, I go to tertiary or say assistant movement for this primary movements. So for example, I'm doing deadlifts, for back I'm doing deadlifts, so I'll be doing some deficit deadlifts or some back extensions for to help me with my primary movements. And you have to be smart when you choose your assistant movements, because you need to think that what are my weak points, and you decide your assisting movements regarding what is your weak point. So the rep range I keep between 6 to 10, and the sets would be 3 to 5, and the rest period will be 90 seconds, because you're not using that much intensity, that much load. So the load will be around 70 to 75% of your 1 RM. And then we come to proper bodybuilding, or you can say hypertrophy exercises. Yeah, so you can, I just mentioned here too, you can do 3 or 4 exercises depending how much you're advanced, or what are you, how you're feeling on that day. But I usually advise 2 to 3 movements of for hypertrophy movement. So say your bicep curls, your chest flies, your triceps, and your show of muscle. What I'm trying to say here is, so 3 exercise of that, of 2 to 3 set, and probably rep ranges will be 8 to 15. So we are going for a high volume here. So for this 3 thing, probably for this 2 thing, strength is our variable, so intensity will be our main thing. So we will be focusing on lifting more heavy weights, and the rest period will be very high because we need to recover from that. And then other movements will be more focused on hypertrophy, that is gaining muscle, getting big. So the rep ranges will be high because we are focusing on volume and not the weight we are lifting, guys. So the weight will be around 65 to 75% of your 1 RM, and you're going for the rep range between 6 to 15 here, and probably sets 3 to 4 sets of that movements. The rest will be minimum, so 60 to 90 second rest is very optimal. And whenever you design a program, there is a plateau you hit. So you're going 1 week you're doing this, second week you're doing this, third week you're doing this, fourth week you're doing this. You hit a plateau, and then there's a time that you don't progress at all. So this progressive overload, this is the most important principle of whatever you do in your strength training. So if your goal is building strength, or your goal is to build hypertrophy or getting big, progressive overload is the main thing. So that means that 1 week you're here, second week you progress, third week you progress, fourth week you progress, and the progression would be of intensity, of the sets, of reps, of total volume. So you need to progress, and then if you think that you need rest, you come down, you take a deload week of 5th or 6th week, and then you start again. So that is, you need a progression in your training as you want in your life. That's the same. There's the same analogy that you need progression in your training as well. You cannot do 5 by 5, 5 by 5, 5 by 5, 5 by 5 with 100 kgs, 100 kgs, 100 kgs. You cannot do that over the period of time. You need to increase either intensity when the strength is your goal, and if your hypertrophy is goal, you need to increase your volume. So yes, guys, you need to progressive overload. So the main thing you need to remember is the primary movements. Start with primary movements, that your core movements, that is your deadlifts, your overhead presses, your chest, your bench press, squats. Start with that, and then slowly come to accessory movements, and then slowly come to hypertrophy, that is your leg extension or your bicep curls or tricep. That is it. So, and remember to progressive overload to your training. So 1 week you're training at say 5 by 5 of 100 kgs. So next week if you cannot increase your weight, you just need to increase your one rep, so 5 by 6 or say 6 by 5. So that is the total, you're increasing the total volume if you're not increasing, if you cannot increase in your weight. And if you can increase weight, I would suggest probably 0.5 or 2.5 lbs or 5 lbs of weight increasement every week. So yes guys, this is it. If you want to screenshot it, you just can screenshot it. And this is how I designed my program. This is how I designed most of my clients program. And the training split will be depend on your goal and on your lifestyle. So someone wants to train 3 days a week, someone wants to train 4 days a week, someone wants to train 5 days a week, and someone wants to take six days a week. So the training split will be designed on your lifestyle. So if you want to go and say do 6 days a week, so I would suggest you push pull leg, rest, or push pull leg, rest, push pull leg. You can do 6 days a week, or you can if you're in 5 days, push pull leg, and then you do push pull. That depends on you. That depends solely on you, that how your lifestyle is and how many times you can hit the gym. But again guys, this designing is not for beginners. I will do another video for beginners as well, but this is for more intermediate and intermediate lifters who are just past that beginner phase and who are 1 to 2 years of their training career or their training whatever. But this is not for beginners. I will do another series for beginners. If you like this video guys, thanks for watching. And if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share with your friends, and do not forget to subscribe guys. I'll be putting more and more valuable content. Do not forget to